now going to call the Sherborn Conservation Commission meeting of August 8th to order at 7:16. We'll just have a roll call of attendance. Michael Lesser present. Terry?
Present. Terry Luskin.
Thank you. Jacob?
Jacob Strauss present.
Courtney?
Courtney Eck present.
Kurt?
Kurt Stiegel present.
Matt?
Matt O'Lear present.
Okay, let's get going here. Let's see, where did I put my agenda? Okay. There any topics that we need to add 48 hours in advance?
No.
Okay. Then let's see, we have 7:20. We will do something there. I will cover, there's a warrant for not much money for postage and I think some travel, if I recall correctly. If anybody wants to know the details, it's in the file there. Next little quick detail. Are there any administrative approvals?
There are, since the last meeting, however, I can list them all at the next meeting, and that might make it easier to address on the next agenda.
Okay, there's a bunch of them.
There's a bunch, yeah.
Okay, and they're all out of jurisdiction?
Some are and some aren't, but those that aren't have been notified.
Okay. I guess we have a big agenda next time. That's why I was trying to avoid putting more there, but I guess
It's
it'll
just,
be the
it'll
list.
just be a list. It'll just be a quick list.
Okay, fine. Okay, it's 7:18. Let's see what else we got here. Anybody have any announcements?
No, but I do want to apologize for missing the last meeting without giving notice. I was not well at the time, and to be honest, I completely forgot. So my apologies, won't happen again.
Okay, we'll hold you to that and your apology accepted. I don't know about the other people, but I'll accept it on behalf of the commission.
Just glad you're feeling better, Matt.
Yes.
Thanks, Kurt.
A lot of stuff going around. Okay. What else we got here? The agent position. We're interviewing somebody who might be a possibility for an assistant agent to train. We'll let you know how that goes to see whether it's more want to bring it on to a more formal process. So there's a little something there in process. We've got some minutes. Oh yeah, what's the story about the next conservation meeting on August 22nd, Joyce?
There is a meeting on August 22nd.
Well,
Oh.
we should just, that is also the night of a ZBA meeting. I think they have Brush Hill and Washington Street on their agenda.
Well, unfortunately, we didn't know that, and we've advertised 4 new hearings for that night.
Yeah, okay.
I-
It is what it is.
Well, maybe somebody will from here, if everybody's going to be able to show up is everybody able to come on the 22nd?
So the other
Oh.
the other option is, I mean, it'll cost us money to re-advertise.
No, we'll just find somebody to go to the meeting. How
I
many-
can do it.
Some other people can go. We'll figure out who'll go to the ZBA meeting and we'll have to prime whoever goes with what the issues might be. Okay, so as long as we can but the rest of us, as long as we get a quorum for the 22nd, is everybody
I
else
can
able
be
to
there,
come on the
yeah.
22nd?
I'm good for this one. Yeah.
Okay, Courtney and Kurt, are you okay?
Yeah, I should be here.
Okay, fine. So we'll find somebody and we'll prime you. Okay, 7:20. Let's see. So we've done that. We just have the minutes to do of the discussion items. Okay, I am going to, you have two hearings at a start. We'll be right with you on, let's see, 3 Oldfield, and, oh yeah, we got a bunch of things going on here. Let's see, I'm gonna start with the first one. I'm going to, open the continued hearing on the Sherborn wetland regulations, drafting of possible amendments to the regs. I'm going to say that I still haven't finished collating everything. And given the August 22nd meeting fairly busy, I would move that we continue this hearing to the September 5th session at 7:20.
Second,
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Michael, I. Kurt,
Aye.
Courtney,
aye.
Jacob,
Aye.
Matt,
Aye.
Terry.
Aye.
Okay. Got that done. Now, how do we handle? Okay, we are going to open and then to continue. We're going to open the continued public hearing. The request to amend the existing order of conditions for 3 Oldfield Drive. And map 2, lot 38 and 39. And the applicant has requested that it be continued without discussion until September 19th. So I will move, what time should we do it on that day?
Can we do it to 8 o'clock?
Okay. So we will move I move to continue this hearing on 3 Oldfield Drive. Amending of an existing order of conditions to September 19th at 8 p.m.
Second,
Any further discussion? Okay, Michael, I. Jacob,
Aye.
Courtney,
aye.
Kurt,
Aye.
Matt.
Aye.
Terry.
Aye.
Okay, we've gotten dealt with that one. Let's see, moving on. What's the story with 201 Lake Street?
So
That's the one
201
that we could continue that too.
201 Lake Street, we're going to continue tonight, but we also need to set up some site walks. And
Okay. Then I will, sorry for Peckham Hill, you'll be a little delayed. Oh, it's 7:25. Yeah, actually we're on schedule.
yeah,
Okay, so I'm reopening the hearing on 201 Lake Street, which is the Farm Pond Beach area. Okay, and we need to schedule some site walk. What do you
So
got, Joyce?
we're gonna schedule a number of site walks, or we have 2 new notice of intents, and we also want to schedule Lake Street. So if we could pick a day that we can visit 3 sites, that would be, go from one to the other. Maybe we could, if we could give it like an hour and a half to 2 hours total for the 3 site walks.
How many of them are posted for the 22nd?
One moment, I have a barrier here. We have two notice of intents on the 22nd. A pool and a new house at 65 Farm and a pool at 266 Washington Street.
Okay,
And then the Farm Pond, we want to walk that one also. This could be either an evening or it could be a weekend. It might be easier to grab people on a weekday maybe after work. I don't know. You'll leave it up to you all.
Does the weekend work for people? Like, I don't know, the 17th?
Yes.
Everybody else piping up?
No, I'm away.
Yeah, me too.
18th or the whole weekend?
I'm away the whole weekend.
Do we, what do we talk, is an evening time possible for some people? Like we could at least do because we're not sure, we could just do two of them and put off Farm Road to a later date. Since that one we don't have on the agenda. Jeannie,
What-
yes.
What don't we have on the agenda?
Oh, is Farm Pond on the agenda for the 22nd?
Well, that's,
We have to
The-
continue it tonight to.
we have to continue it, so, did we have a hand
We'll let you
raised?
speak in a minute. Yeah,
Real quick, I can't be on your meeting the 22nd because I have to be on the ZBA meeting the 22nd. So if you could postpone it till the next meeting after that,
okay.
unless Sean wants to
really-
do the
no,
22nd.
Even if I could, I can't do any weekends before that. It's not a rush.
Yeah,
I mean, if
Okay.
you guys have a lot going on, it's not like we're trying to get this done in August.
We did have a lot going on, so things got,
Yeah, we do.
yeah,
So-
but we still, coming up, we do.
I
yeah.
was gonna suggest that we continue it anyway until, not for the next meeting, but the meeting after. Do you want us, Sean, can we continue it to the second meeting in September?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
And you said, does a weekday work better for you? For,
Well, once you get into September, I don't mind. It just,
okay,
I'm trying to finish the roundabout, maybe take a vacation this summer, and I don't want to commit a weekend to go look at.
oh,
Farm Pond.
vacations are, overrated.
I know, they
Just
are.
need more work for yourself when you get back.
Okay, now that we've settled that one, but okay, so let's say we're just gonna do two site visits for the next meeting. The Washington Street and the Farm Road. What do we, is there a weekday that people can do that?
If it's early mornings, yes.
Not late afternoons?
Late afternoons are, I wouldn't know until after the fact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's also kind of diabolical coming from Hingham in the afternoon.
So the morning time, does that work for Kurt and Matt?
Sorry, morning when?
Someday
tell
in the
us.
week. Yes. We're just trying to settle on a time slot. Some weekday morning seems to be, because we have something before the 22nd, so it's sometime next week, let's say in the morning.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to plan that around me. If I can make it, I will, but tough for me to commit to that.
Yeah, I mean, I have some issues myself, but Matt.
If
Are
you're
there any
talking
more-
about the week of the 12th, I'm not back from Maine for a couple more days for that next whole week. My kids will be back for football, so I could send a kid over in my stead.
Okay, they can FaceTime, and with you. The
anybody the morning of the 19th, the 20th, or the 21st?
Only
should
the
be open.
21st for me.
I could do any of those days.
I probably can too.
I
Yeah,
can-
as long as it's early enough, yeah.
Kurt, can you do any of those days, even though we
Yeah, I
don't
could maybe-
plan around you?
I could maybe do the 19th. I couldn't do the other 2 days.
And Terry, you can only do the
I
21st.
can only do the 21st. It's, nannies are going back to school and school hasn't started, so it's Nana and Papa.
Whatever. Okay, so and you have a long haul because of where you are for the moment. So you might not mind if
Do what works best. Happy
okay,
to come if I can.
well, let's do the 19th in the morning. So I have a few days, some days before the
What
meeting.
time?
What time works? 8 o'clock for people or what?
Eight works.
Sure.
Kurt,
Yeah.
Matt?
I'll send an email with the two addresses. We'll start on Washington Street first. And 8 AM on the 19th.
Okay, and we'll figure out at the next meeting, we'll figure out 201, the Farm Pond, when we actually get to do that, unless we want to pick
We can-
something in
We
September.
can just send out a whole thing.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. We'll see how those go. Okay.
All right.
let's see,
You,
move to continue. When are we gonna continue Farm Pond to? September
second meeting.
September 19th.
19th at what time? We have something at 8. Um,
Why don't we do, oh,
you wanna do it
why don't we do
earlier?
7:45?
7:45? 15 minutes? Well, depends on how much we're gonna get into versus, and what our questions are.
I guess we don't have anything right now scheduled on the agenda, so we could do 7:30 and give it half an hour.
Okay, I was gonna say, and we could also, since we know who's attending, we could also prime others to come a little later if we.
Finish your motion,
something
dude.
else. Okay, so we're gonna do, I was tempted to do 7:20, but,
Okay, 7:20?
and then we could push it, because we know everybody, or, okay, I move to, continue the Farm Pond stormwater hearing until September 19th at 7:20.
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote, Michael, I, Jacob,
Hi.
Courtney,
Aye.
Kurt,
Aye.
Matt,
I,
Terry.
Aye.
Okay, now we get to something we're gonna have to do, we're gonna actually do tonight.
Jeannie has a
Really?
question.
Hi, it's Jeannie. Will you let us know as soon as you schedule the site visit, please?
Yes.
All
We'll
right.
do that and include everybody, include you guys.
Okay, thank you. I gotta go to select board. Have a good night.
Yep. We hope so.
Night.
Okay. Notice of a public hearing. Notice is hereby given that the Conservation Commission of the Town of Sherborn will hold a virtual public hearing using Zoom technology at now 7:33 on the 8th day of August 2024. The notice of intent hearing will be held pursuant to Chapter 131, Section 40 of the General Laws as amended, the Wetlands Protection Act, and the Sherborn Wetlands Bylaw, Chapter 17, to consider a proposal by the applicant Leonard Pierce III for installation of landscape plantings and pervious and non-pervious landscape structures within the 200-foot riverfront area. And I guess it's also the 100, I thought there's also the 100-foot buffer of a resource, but we'll get that cleared up. At 18 Peckham Hill Road, map 11, lot 0 - block 112. This application is available for viewing at the Sherborn Conservation Office. All persons desiring to be heard will be given an opportunity to speak at this hearing. We have all the green cards and all the other kind of stuff.
So we have the receipts. So they sent out the green cards. They have 6 abutters that we sent out their receipts. They got 2 green cards back, and they did not get 4 back. It's
Yeah.
summer. I'm not. There's the post office. When you look at their receipts, they list. It could be several reasons why they didn't come back, why they didn't get signed and returned. But since 2 of the abutters received them, we have to think that the mailing did go out because they do have the receipts where they post office took them in. We just do not have the green cards. So I had Nicole print out the post office on the website. It lists what the status of the mailings are, and all of them were returned to the post office. And I'm sure are on their way back to Nicole.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just gonna ask if they had the online tracking, they could show that. Yeah,
She
That's-
printed them out and put
Yeah,
them in.
that's
So
the same thing.
I mean, I think that's enough proof. It's unfortunate that because we require return receipt mail and not a certified mail, certified mailings, they get mailed out, and the post office certifies that the applicant has mailed them, and it goes off in the mail to the applicant. With the green cards, if they don't accept them at the post office, they don't know what's going on. So That's it. So that's, but
Something to talk about.
They
Okay,
properly notified the abutters.
okay. That's something we could talk about another time. How it's done and what we need to have to do based on state stuff. Okay, so we're opening the hearing. So take it away, somebody who's going to present.
Hello, my name is Nicole Hayes. I'm wetland scientist with Goddard Consulting, here before you tonight for the applicant at 18 Peckham Hill Road. The project before you tonight is a redevelopment project due to the riverfront area on site being previously disturbed by the construction of a single-family house in a driveway, which was done prior to the Wetlands Protection Act. The proposed project will make a betterment to the existing conditions located on the site, since we will be removing a large portion of impervious surface. I can, if I can share my screen, I will show you the plan as I go through it. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, can you see the plans?
Yes.
All right. So there's an existing house and driveway. Just try to zoom out here. All right, here's the house and here's the driveway right here. There is a mapped perennial stream that's located right along here. And the only wetland associated with this stream is located right off site along here. So the buffer zone does extend onto the backside of the property, the 100-foot BVW buffer zone here. And the riverfront area, the 100-foot riverfront area goes all the way to here. So almost the entire lot is within the 100-foot riverfront area and definitely within the 200-foot riverfront area. The proposed work is the removal of some asphalt in through here and some concrete in through here. It's a total of 563 square feet of removal of impervious surfaces. The proposed work has a lot of permeable surfaces with mindset of protection of the riverfront area. We have this stone terrace. Let me try to blow this up for you. Oops. Well, it's a stone terrace here, and it's made with permeable stone patio. So this is also permeable. There will be some proposed impervious surface, which includes, let me see, it includes stone stairs, a brick walkway, a retaining wall, hot tub pad, fire pit pad, and new shed. The new shed is right here. The brick walkway is right here. Some new stone steps. We're all counting that as impervious. So the amount that we are taking away of impervious is 563 square feet. After we propose some of the impervious structures, we will still have a negative 69 square feet of impervious surface. So it's a decrease in impervious surface within the riverfront area. Also, the betterment is we are proposing a very thorough native species plantings along the riverfront, which will include, it includes 18 native trees, 50 native shrubs, and hundreds of native perennials, all to be planted within the riverfront area. This right here is going to be a vegetable garden, so it's all impervious. And it's good to note that all the work that is proposed is within existing maintained lawn area or previous impervious surface, as we took out some of the driveway here. So in all, this redevelopment of riverfront area, we will improve existing conditions with subtracting 69 square feet of impervious surface. There'll be lots of plantings of native species, and there's also a invasive species management program that's been included in the NOI packet. So in the end, this is a very nice project. It's more of a beautification of the residents' yard with beautiful landscape. It was done by a landscape designer who is also present on the call if you have any questions for him. We really focused in on trying to do all the hardscape as permeable surfaces, so we won't be impacting the riverfront area. And I can take any questions that you may have.
Did you want to start, Joyce, with any things that you had?
So I just have a couple of questions.
Oh, thank you, by the way, for the presentation.
Yes, yes. First of all, we should show the 50 and the 100-foot wetland buffer zone setback. And then we're going to look to see a table of activity. And you might need to have two separate tables, one pre and post impervious surfaces within the inner and outer riparian zone, and then a table of activity for the inner and the outer wetland buffer zone.
That is included in the notice of intent narrative, and how we meet all the performance standards for the wetlands protection.
So I'm not looking, just looking for a table on the plan that shows those.
Oh, a table
areas.
on the plan? Well, we
Yep.
don't have it on the plan, but we do have it
Yep.
in the document.
Okay, and that would be great. And then when you talk about permeable pavers, are these permeable pavers when you say the patio? So these are actually permeable pavers.
Wes, are you online that you could maybe?
I am. Hello, everybody. My name is Wesley Worth. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we have not decided exactly on the paving material, but what we're suggesting in the drawing are large stones which would be set on a series of washed stone setting bed, just like you would set permeable pavers, with large interstices between the stone that would qualify them as pervious.
So there'll be sanded joints between each of these large stones that will be able to permeate the water through and into a sandy layer. Is that correct, Wes?
It's not sandy, but like we would use coarse stone below, and would set the stones in a 3/8 inch washed round river stone.
Okay, is that, I didn't see, can that detail be put on the plan also?
No, we didn't detail it to that level.
Okay, if that could be added to the plan also.
Certainly. But it would be consistent with any, all permeable pavement details
Sure.
today, but rather than
We just want to be sure that whoever this gets put out to knows how to do that. So there's no question.
Absolutely. Sure.
Anything else, Joyce?
That's my list for now.
I just want to clarify what your first one, that since it's a notice of intent, were you bringing up that the that the BVW buffer zone should be on the plan. Is that
Yeah,
your
I
first
mentioned
point?
that, yes.
Is that something you can do, or you haven't delineated the buffers?
Oh, yep, it is.
Oh, no, it's on the plan,
It
actually.
is on the plan. Let me just try to find it.
Well, it's right. Yeah, there, your cursor is right over it. There's the 50 right there.
That's the
Which
50 from the
essentially-
river. That's the 50 from the river. The 100 should be off the BBW, so it should be this way.
I
Yeah.
thought you
There it
said
is
the
at the bottom of the
BVW
page.
was to the right. Where is the BVW?
The BVW is located, see this line right here? GC
Yeah.
102, 101, 100, and then it eventually connects into the river. Yeah, right here at 100. So the 100-foot buffer zone would be 100 feet this way. Let me see, I believe it's on the plan. I just need to find it and show you. Wonder what
Let's
this.
put it this way. It should be clearly on the plan if you eventually find it, when you change it. when you
Yeah.
amend it.
And when you,
Just
and
make
when
it
you
clear.
advertised and prepared your notice of intent, you didn't mention the buffer zone, you were just talking about riparian areas, so it might have just been overlooked, that's all.
Oh, I pretty sure I mentioned it in the narrative, maybe on the form. Is that what you're talking about? Maybe on the form I didn't mention it. But see, now there's 100 setback from the river. That's the 100-foot, and the 200-foot riverfront, it goes off the site. But yes, we can definitely add it or make it more clear. It might be actually even on a different plan. We have multiple plans.
Yeah.
So see, here's the wetland line.
That's the lawn line.
Oh, yep, sorry.
Okay,
Here's the
I don't
wetland
think
line.
let's put it this way. I'm not sure, since it overlaps with the riverfront.
It does. It overlaps with the riverfront, and the
and-
riverfront has much more stringent performance standards, and we've met all the performance standards for riverfront area. We also, there is no performance standards for buffer zone within the Wetlands Protection Act, but according to your bylaw, you do have some bylaw buffer zone, and I go through each and every one of them. There's 11 statutes in your bylaw about the buffer zone, and I can go through them with you, but if you've read the NOI narrative, that would have been wonderful. But I can go through with them, go and read them for you. But we do, all 11 statutes are listed in the narrative and how we comply with that bylaw for the buffer zone.
So the only issue with that is because the 50-foot isn't shown on here, the 50-foot is a no touch, no alteration zone. And I'm not saying that what you haven't shown isn't great that you
Mhm.
are not making an improvement, but you are adding activity into the no touch zone. And so we just need to be able to identify and clearly see just where those activities fall.
Okay, so I will then definitely also put on the 50-foot buffer zone line and make that clearly marked, as well as making the 100-foot buffer zone line clearly marked. We can definitely do that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, since everything is an already altered area for the no alteration zone, and I did see your coverage of the 11 points
Mhm.
about the inner buffer zone, and hopefully the other commissioners have seen it too. Okay,
Can I
Yes.
ask a question about the plan? So it's just, I see it has existing lawn, and you said everything is within existing lawn.
Or existing asphalt that we're going to be removing. So,
Right.
yep, well, there'll be work right here, and then most of the work is going to be out in through here. I can switch back.
Can you
to this
scroll?
one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep, so this is the area of asphalt that will be removed.
Yeah,
And
can you just scroll down slightly? I'm just
Okay.
trying to follow all the lines here. So like this line that sweeps up through the middle here, it says edge of existing lawn. So between the first patio and like the second patio, there's a dotted line.
This one?
Yes, if you follow that down, it says edge of existing lawn. So I'm just, and your other plan shows lawn everywhere, but so it's just not
Yeah,
clear.
I think that's a typo. That could be just a contour line because I know, and I have photographs that I could also show you as well, that the lawn does go all the way back to
Sure.
the buffer zone line. I
Yeah,
mean, the wetland line.
okay.
Is that
I'll take that out of
is that
there.
a property line that, maybe
This, this right here,
no, going
the
to, go
solid.
to the right.
this line?
Yeah,
Yeah, I believe it is. I believe that the wetland is located off-site.
yeah, no,
Yes,
it's,
that's true.
okay. Um, okay, but the lawn goes all the way to the edge there. Okay, so
Yep,
that
and
cleaned
there
up.
is
Yeah.
photographs. Yep, there is photographs in the narrative as well. I can bring that up, but it might take me a few minutes to.
I am looking, I have it now. I could bring it up, but so there's lawn that goes all the way to the
Yes.
stream, and on the other side of the stream up to the is there lawn on the other side of the stream?
On this side, there's a lot of invasives. That's one of the, also the betterments that we are proposing. Yeah, so there are some current trees that will be remaining, and there's a lot of ground invasives, a lot of bittersweet, rose, trying to think of what else there's in there, Japanese knotweed,
Oh, boy.
garlic mustard, and we have we have
Buckthorn
a,
is
yeah,
honeysuckle also.
buckthorn and honeysuckle as well. Yep, and we have a section in there that describes how we'd like to hand remove those species if, when we can, when we're in there planting, and to try to keep them at bay.
Okay, and that, what's the ground, is that where you're putting all the sedges and other things? What's going to be the ground cover layer there, the herbaceous layer, after you remove all the invasives?
I'll let
Yeah,
Wes.
Bill, okay, so as you can see on the plan, there are three sort of designations of plants: trees, shrubs, and ground covers. The ground covers, the trees and the shrubs are fairly obvious. The ground covers are in those olive covered blobs. And those are mostly against on the river bank or the stream bank, and it's meant to stabilize the slope and to minimize erosion and to create a dense vegetated mat that will ultimately compete with and hopefully overcome the invasives, or give an alternative to the invasives. Nicole didn't mention it, but the invasive pressure on both sides of the riverbank and in the entire adjacent lot off property, which is up on the upper side of this plan, is like nothing I've ever seen. I mean, it's just a snarling mess of bittersweet and mostly bittersweet, but lots of other things too, that has pulled down and essentially destroyed the native forest there, which is largely red maples. There was some old ash and other things, but it's hard to tell. And they're growing onto themselves. Like the bittersweet is killing the buckthorn, for example, other invasives. So it's a mess. And one other clarification, where it said edge of existing lawn, if you scroll down to the bottom of the plan there are some large sugar maples. Down a little lower, please. Yeah, see the large sugar maples right around where the cursor? Now you can go up just to teens. Yeah, those are right there. There's a cluster of large sugar maples. That edge of existing lawn is actually just around those sugar maples. That somehow or another, that line that continues up there, it shouldn't. It should peel off to the side. So we can fix that. It's an error in the drawing. And you'll notice it's only on this plan that it's labeled incorrectly. It just didn't get copied from properly from the other plans. in the process of preparing the drawings. So the entire, essentially the entire backyard area where all the work is proposed is currently lawn. And it's only those oaks, sorry, the sugar maples that I was just referring to, where, you know, it's not currently lawn and it never will be lawn. We're going to just keep
Too
that
much shade.
a natural, you know, natural state area. But there's a lot of invasive activity over there as well that needs to be managed.
Courtney, did that address your things? Do you have any other questions?
I don't have any other questions about what I'm seeing on the plan at the moment. Still digesting this.
All right. Do others have some questions before I ask a few?
More comments than questions, but I could add a few of
Sure.
those. First of all, this looks like a sort of overall, if I just take a distant view, this looks like a significant improvement to the site overall. I think there's some few questions about the plans and such. The one, it looks like on the fourth plot, it does clarify the pervious nature of the pavers. I don't know if that meets what Joyce, if that answers your questions, or if there's more detail that we want to add about that. And then the other question question I wanted to bring up is the vegetable garden. That's presumably would be the one addition that wouldn't be native plantings, and that's also fairly close to the no alteration zone. On the other hand, if I look at the plan, I don't see a better place for it. So I don't. That would be the one area, the one thing that doesn't quite fit the guidance we might otherwise give. But overall, I would say it's still a net benefit.
Yeah, I mean,
May
I
I-
thought it was a vegetable garden, but go ahead, Russ.
I would respond by saying I agree with you that I would prefer to see more native plants, but we really did put it in design-wise a concerted effort to really blanket the area around the most sensitive area adjacent to the stream with very strong and aggressive species that will eventually take over. The vegetable area is really one of the best, flattest, most open, sunny areas on the site, and you know, is certainly best suited if you go to the site for something like that. And the owner, Lenny, and his wife are very keen on kind of creating a productive garden. So that was the impetus there. And it is fenced to keep critters out and deer out. So, you know, to whatever extent that will kind of cordon off the area and, you know, make that activity kind of relegated to that particular zone.
Okay, thank you.
Terry, Matt, or Kurt, anything at the moment? You can.
No, my question, Courtney, got to for me. Thank you.
Okay. I guess with the vegetable garden, I assume those are you possibly having raised beds, and I guess it's just sort of gravel or dirt around them, around the raised beds.
Yeah. Well, it would either be again, you know, we didn't quite get to that level of detail, but I would say it would either be a crushed stone, or even lawn if they're raised beds. With
Okay.
raised beds, and then you can also see some kind of perimeter planting around the fence, which would probably be you know, we tend to put like climbing or, you know, obviously the owner plants it, but they could be climbing vegetables that use the fence to as a trellis.
Okay. Yeah, I guess before I ask a few other things, I'll agree with what Jacob's comment was about the benefits of this project and the beautification.
Right. So I would slightly disagree with that. Not totally. I think it's pretty close to an improvement on balance. My concern is I'm assuming those are the wetland flags on the side, GC 101, GC 102. And you know, and is your calculation counting the large paving stones with gaps in between, are you counting that as pervious or semi-pervious?
We're counting it as pervious because water can infiltrate in and around each of the stones.
Yeah, I'm kind of skeptical of that. I have some of this at my house, and yes, some water can permeate through. It's better than asphalt, but a lot of the water will just run off, especially if it comes down heavy. So I hesitate to call it pervious in the same way that a lawn would be pervious, or a vegetated area would be pervious. I mean, certainly it could be semi-pervious, and I definitely consider it a vast improvement over asphalt. But I would hesitate to just not count that at all and just consider that the same as the lawn or the plantings, because it isn't.
What about if we did like a
I-
pervious
uh,
pavement or something?
But
Different.
can I interject
Yes,
something?
please, yes.
A few things. Okay, first off, we didn't include the detail, but the detail that I tried to describe earlier is essentially you excavate an area about 9 inches deep, and you put 3 or 4 inches of 1.5-inch crushed stone, and then you put a couple more inches of maybe 3/4 inch crushed stone, all washed, not crushed, all washed round stone, and then you put a couple inches of 3/8 inch round stone. So these together create a absolutely very, very pervious layer, much more than lawn, in fact. And then on top of that, you set the large stones with joints. Now you could even vegetate the gaps of the stones with something like thyme, or you could just leave it as 3/8 inch crushed stone. And as long as the interstices between the stones are greater than 20%, it qualifies as pervious, and it exceeds, in my experience, what the sort of standard pervious brick pavement that people use. And I do agree with you that standard pervious brick pavement that gets used most often and is qualified as pervious often fails because the joints are so narrow that they get clogged over time. And also that whole underlayment structure that I described is often not put in properly, and it also clogs up. But in this case, I'm confident that it will perform as good as or better than lawn in terms of capturing and infiltrating water that falls on it from the stormwater.
Okay. And you're going to detail that on the plan?
Absolutely, sure.
Okay.
So the criterion that really is critical, I guess, is the 20% spacing.
Yeah.
Which I guess is the major factor to document, so that we can be ensured that it will be pervious, or consider that. Okay, let's see, going on to other things. So are any trees being cut that are existing?
I don't believe so.
No.
Wes? No.
No, there's not. I mean, no.
Okay, just wanted to check it.
Is the cedar that's in the middle of the patio, that's gonna stay there?
Yeah, let me.
What about
Can you-
what about the grading? How's that gonna work?
The grading actually it falls within, well, a couple things. The terrace that's adjacent to the house is supported by a wall. And if you look closely at the plan, Nicole didn't describe the detail very much. And that wall is always less than 3 feet, but it wraps around and creates a border in which there's fill, which I believe is all indicated in the notice of intent. And on that fill is this terrace and garden structure. So it's there's some paving area and some. And then the stairs come down on both sides. And then the rest of the project, it falls more or less within the existing contour. So there's very minimal grade change required. The only significant grade change is that terrace and the wall that I described. which is the terrace that you see on the plan left, not the terrace on the plan right. Terrace on the plan right is within a lawn area and is more or less mirrors the existing.
That answer your, well. So
It's
no,
hard to it's hard to imagine unless there's a site visit where it's quite
Oh.
obvious.
so there are no trees being cut, just for, because that's often something but on the other hand, we're doing some other mitigation trees. But we don't often we document what trees will be cut.
There won't be any cutting of trees, and will be the plan has actually 18 native trees that will be planted and 50 native shrubs, 50 native shrubs, and over 100 of
Oh, yeah,
native
I'm not questioning that part. I'm just
Yeah.
for the documentation.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Yep.
Now, tree cutting, let's see, we often have conditions about pesticide and fertilizer use in our jurisdiction. What is it that you're proposing here in terms of our 10, generally, we don't allow pesticide use in the, especially in the no alteration zone.
Right. The removal will be by hand of the invasive species.
I'm thinking in long-term
Right.
maintenance. We have these conditions in perpetuity.
Yep.
About
Yes,
that.
yep.
Yeah,
That's-
I know that the owner Lenny and his wife would agree to never to not use any herbicides, pesticides, or fungicides.
Okay, and the fertilizer use issues are, I mean, right, it gets a little, you have vegetable garden, obviously, but often we just sort of have basically only slow release nitrogen fertilizer use.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sure he would agree to that as well, and and employ sort of best practices, soil and compost management to keep his vegetables healthy and happy.
mhm. Okay, let's see, that, I think, then coming back to my first point about issue of how when we condition this, I can't remember seeing, so that essentially you're saying that, let's say, the example of above the stream, which is, I guess, maybe the west, that there will be because we often just condition that if we're having these betterments, that whether there's going to be 100% survival of the trees and 75% survival of shrubs. Is that something that fits with what you're planning to do?
Absolutely.
Okay. And the ground cover there, will there be will be in the areas that are not being densely covered there along the stream, like towards the property line above there.
Mhm.
What is your vision again of what the ground will look like? Because is that where a lot of, because I see the bushes and whatever, the shrubs.
There's
What's your vision of what's going to be on the ground there?
So this the actual width of the stream varies slightly, and of course it seasonally changes according to the flow of water. And there's quite a bit of vegetation already there, which would remain intact and in place. The issue is that there's so much invasive material there that essentially, even though this is a plan that is actually picking locations for these things, for all intents and purposes, is really a strategy for replanting, and they would be distributed into the zones, or the proposed plants, or the quantity of proposed plants would be distributed into the zones where there was the most potential for erosion and the most space and light and lack of some kind of effective stabilized vegetative structure after the invasives have been removed. So it's essentially remove and replace with something strong. And we came up with the numbers here to kind of have a safe, or what I feel, or we feel, is a safe kind of replacement quantity to change the tide on the pattern of growth of the invasives, to kind of give, remove them and then give the native plants a leg up to change the energy of the plant community.
I certainly wish success on that one. Ed.
It's difficult. Just to speak to that, we've done this many times. It definitely doesn't happen in 1 year. It's a multi-year process, and it requires vigilance, constantly pulling. I would say once a month is ideal, but even once every 2 months, pulling out the invasives as thoroughly as possible, and then when they come back up, take them out, and then continue to allow the native plants the room and the space they need. So it really does require someone who has the expertise to notice the difference between the different types of plants, and it requires that ongoing thing. It's amazing, though, how after a certain amount of years, I would say it's probably 2 or 3 years, where I use the word energy, which is a little bit of a floofy word, but the energy of the plant community does change, in my view. And there is some kind of tipping point, just like there's a tipping point when the invasives kind of get to this overwhelming density and vigor, where you just kind of, scratch your head and wonder what will ever become of this place. It kind of goes in the other direction, where you stand there and you say, wow, I remember what this used to be like, but it's looking and feeling much better.
So there might be some, I guess, native seed beds in the areas towards the property line that might, once you pull the invasives, you're hoping will also then compete beyond what you're just planting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if almost in every plan, I don't know if it made it into this, but we always do broadcast copious amounts of native wildflower seeds in the area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure I saw that, but
in addition to.
Yeah.
So we'll be sure to add that next round too.
Maybe it's there. Okay. Jacob, did you have something to add?
Yes, I wanted to ask about construction access, and I guess for the hardscape portion of it, if there's some sort of limit of work kind of structure, is there any need? I'm not sure if there's any slopes here that we would need to be concerned about or not.
So essentially, the construction access is not indicated on this plan, but if, again, a site visit would kind of tells the story. It's as you drive in the driveway or come in the driveway, right where we're proposing the removal of 460 some square feet of asphalt is where that would kind of be a staging area. That's right there. And then and the bulk of the work is just to the immediate east of that, up, and it's where that first terrace is. Right there. And the rest of the work is, would require some access, but it would be right, everything would be kind of local there. And the only access, the vegetable garden's on existing grade, and that large stone terrace on the plan right is also on existing grade. So that would only require the excavation of the bed, or the setting bed for those stones, and then installation of the stone. So the only real excavation and or wall building and serious work would be confined to the driveway and the 500 foot or 460 foot area of asphalt, and then just immediately kind of around the corner there. So it would stay. I would say everything would be. Nothing would be closer than the edge of the driveway to the resource, to the stream bed.
Okay.
Joyce, I know normally for a notice of intent, we do have a site visit. Somehow we.
So I was going to suggest maybe we could add this to our since we took away 201, maybe we could add this to our site visits on,
Okay.
Was it
'Cause,
the
have you been there, have you been there in terms of whether any erosion control is needed?
well, well, that's a question I have, I didn't ask, and I think it's a good one. So with this, we should talk about, and it doesn't need to be now, but they should consider and think about where the stockpiling and staging areas are, because you're gonna
Yeah.
have materials
Yeah.
and I do think that you're gonna have to talk about erosion control, because there is some potential for, if we have a strong rain events while this is going on, particularly for the removal and stabilization of the driveway and the creation of stuff, they're gonna have to look at where they're gonna put erosion control.
Yeah, I'd imagine we'd put it right along the driveway here. Well, Wes, what do you think you think we should put it along maybe the upslope, upper side of the bank? Where
So,
would you?
so
Yes.
maybe you could have
Yes.
like, you could have
Yeah,
different.
we can indicate it. We can indicate all, I agree with you, Joyce, 100%. There should be a designated staging area for dealing with the ins and outs of all the materials. There should be a limit of work indicated on the plan, as well as an erosion silt
Yep.
fence barrier. And
Yep,
all
I'm
of that
writing
will be
that
very,
down.
yeah,
Yep.
be very easy to add to the plan. And it's, again, once you're on the site, I think it's fairly obvious where those should be, and they should be as tight to the house and as far away from the resource area as possible. And I think that the driveway gives you a very quite perfect launching pad into all of those things. It is flat. It's flat there. There's really not a steep a gradient from there to the resource area. So even in a storm event, the silt fence and a wattle, or however you choose to protect that edge, would do a fine job of protecting the resource area.
So I think this is all great discussion, and you're right, a site visit would help show us. And then, like you said, we do need to see it all in the plan. And I know we keep talking about protecting the resource area, meaning the stream, but the 200-foot riverfront area is itself a resource area. So the project is working within a resource area, which is maybe why we seem a little anal about all the details.
No, oh, that's perfectly.
And overall, I think this is headed in a great direction. This
Yeah,
is
we can add all of those. I've been making a list of all the things that we need to add, as you mention it, and we can definitely add those items to the plan, so you have that on the plan.
So, and I too agree that this is a great plan. I also want you to just be clear that the 50-foot is a no-touch zone. So there's a section of the bylaw that talks about activity in the no-touch zone and showing how that doesn't impact the wetlands. There's a whole nother analysis.
Yeah,
And
that was the 11 itemized bullets that I go through in the regulatory compliance narrative section of the NOI.
That's great, but you haven't identified where the 50-foot is, and you haven't identified the activity that's gonna be in the 50-foot. That's all I'm saying. And it's not
Okay.
50-foot, it's not 50-foot from the river, it's 50-foot from the wetland buffer zone, from the
Right.
wetland resource area.
Right.
Wetland area, sorry.
Mhm.
I read your narrative, and it was great. Thank you.
Yes. So in terms of, let's see. I'll follow up on one thing, going back to my issue of how is the area along, let's say, the below or east of the stream, along the stream there, that is currently, I guess, lawn. And what is the management plan for that in the longer term? Or is that going to remain managed? Or are you creating some sort of vegetated buffer there that's not just lawn along the stream itself?
Currently, there is lawn on that eastern edge. All the other parts of the stream are whatever is there, which is a mixture of some native, very few native things, and a lot of invasive things. And the only reason that area is lawn is just because it's historically has been mowed. I would say, I think that there is a desire on the owner's part to have a little bit of access and a little bit of vision of the stream, but the intent was to largely vegetate it with native things, and perhaps keep a small area, which you can sort of see in the plan. It's the only place we don't have the blob adjacent to the river, the open right there, exactly. But the
Mhm.
rest of it is fully and densely vegetated with herbaceous, stream bank plants.
And the management for that would be like, is it
Weeding,
kind of
as
thing
I
that
said
you
before, it's
do
like,
an annual mow or something? I don't know. What is the
um,
plan?
no, probably not. No, it wouldn't be mow. It would be hand weeding, pulling out invasives. Once the invasives are out, we find that the first pass generally gets about 80% of them, and then they just keep, coming back in smaller doses, and you can't really bring a machine in at that point. It has to be hand, particularly after you plant fresh things. So it's hand pulling on both sides of the stream bank.
Okay, I guess you can make a note of that on the plan or somewhere. I guess I can't tell if
Yeah.
it's there because
Isn't
that's
that already in the,
it's sort of
Yeah.
clearly.
isn't that already in the
worded.
management plan that's in the filing?
Well, we have an invasive management plan which details a strategy for identifying, treating, and removing invasives, and that talks about the various methods that we suggest for each plant. And now that's different than, I think that's slightly different than what we're talking about, which is,
Right.
let's call it like the orchestration of, or the coherent kind of strategy between that invasive management plan and then also maintaining and managing the new native plants that you put in.
Got it. Okay.
So that's what we often call a maintenance plan. And and with all due respect, in this process, we put sort of our best foot forward to kind of present the first, our best kind of first flush of what we think is good for the client, good for the environment, good for the resource area, good for everybody here. And then, after the feedback comes in, we can't put a fully baked plan together without killing the client financially, just because it takes so much time on our part. But generally, we do produce all of these things that we're talking about that show, all the erosion areas, all the silt fence areas, specify all the construction details, the porosity of all the pavements, the native, the full extent of the planting plan. We do a fairly detailed planting plan for this presentation, just so that we can show that we're serious about the plant community that we're creating. And then the last part of that, which is why I went into this whole diatribe, is what I would call the management plan, which outlines how to manage this coherent strategy that keeps nipping away at the invasive energy and allows the native plants to regenerate and fill in that space.
Well, one way of dealing with the timing of such work is that we've often had a condition in the order that says that expects a management plan to be submitted and reviewed by the commission. So that way we can get in sync with what makes sense for the work. And so we'll include something like that. That makes sense to other commissioners. So
I would agree with that.
Okay. Any other comments tonight? Yes.
I wonder if you could, Wes, if you could just, I'm listening and I'm just trying, so you're saying that the plantings that you're showing on here are kind of a wish list and they may not do the plantings? Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all. What I'm saying is that the specified location, every plant that's indicated on this plan will show up on site and be planted, but that the actual location that we're showing for the trees and the perennials and the shrubs is a strategy. So in other words,
Okay.
it may be 5 feet to the left, 5 feet to the right, essentially there's just too many variables to say exactly where every plant goes.
Oh, that's
But
fine.
essentially so I mean, we always say that the planting plan is a strategy. It doesn't, we're not talking about playing with the quantity of plants, the size of the plants, the species of the plant. Those are all givens and promised. It's only the sort of location indicated on the plan. And, and again, it's within a certain, I don't know, 5 or 10 feet.
Yeah, we're only talking a few
it's
feet.
not-
Yeah.
That's not an issue. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
As we do in other orders, it's really is the types and the quantities that, that we focus on. I mean, sometimes if the planting plan involves, altering some buffer zone that's not already disturbed, then that's of concern, but that doesn't seem, that's not an issue here.
I think if you hit a giant boulder and you move the tree 5 feet to the right, that would not be an issue at all. And there's always there's always field changes that the agent is empowered to approve. Yeah, I think the only situation where we'd have an issue is if someone decided to take all the trees and plant them outside the buffer zone. It would have to be something pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, the spirit of the plan remains.
Yeah.
The actual sort of detail and the strategy and the kind of intent of the plan remains intact and whole. But that can be tempered by field adjustments and things that make sense based on the way what the land is telling you.
I think we're all in the same wavelength.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
Okay. Let's see, are there comments from anybody in the, anybody else? Even the public who are attending? Okay, I always forget to do that sometimes. So it's, okay, I guess, so are we trying, so do we want to try to see if we can piggyback a site visit on the 19th?
The 19th, yes.
Do we,
Fine for me. I mean, we can just be efficient with our time.
Right.
Of course, we're always so efficient.
We will not linger.
Okay, is that something that would work for West or whoever would be there, or for Lenny?
Yes, I
Yeah,
can't
I
speak
could
for
be
Lenny
there.
at the moment, but I would love to meet.
Yeah, and I could be there as well on the 19th.
Okay, I guess we'll have to fine tune the timings so that you're not waiting around from us as to which ones we do first. We'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
I'll include you in the email once we fine tune it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Uh,
And thank you for putting the meeting so soon. That's wonderful.
is any other comments before I'm going to continue the hearing?
Nicole, do you think you can have the plan revisions for before the meeting on the 22nd, a week
And-
before?
So you'd want them the 20th?
Well, yeah, no.
The week before.
That's why I'm asking.
No.
August what? What would you like them?
We typically try to get them a week in advance, but I don't know how that's
Would
gonna
you
work.
want to do, would you be open to moving it to the September 5th meeting? Or you guys want to move faster than having it?
That's up to Wes.
We would like to move fast, so we would agree to get you the plans early next week. Say, I think by Wednesday. Let's see, the first is.
It doesn't have to be until Thursday.
15th,
Okay.
the 15th.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um,
that is doable. No problem.
Okay. In that case, what timing do we have?
8:30 on the 22nd.
8:30. Because we've got, okay, on the 22nd. Okay, we'll have lots of fun that day. Okay. Anything else before I make a motion to continue the hearing? Okay, I move to continue this hearing on, I guess it's 18 Peckham Hill Road to August 22nd at 8:30 p.m.
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Roll call vote, Michael, I, Jacob,
Aye.
Courtney,
Aye.
I can't see everybody else, Terry,
Aye.
Matt,
I,
Kurt.
Aye.
Okay, it's done.
Okay.
Thank you. This has been fun. Nice to see all the stuff there. And nice to see you, Wes.
Thank you all. Yeah,
Thank you.
same, nice to see all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
Okay,
Bye.
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 So the last thing we have left are some minutes. If I recall correctly, I don't think.
So,
anything else on the
Michael,
agenda.
I hate to open up a can of worms. I'm gonna regret this because I'm tired, but the select board at their meeting put out a call for comments on the Coolidge project. Bob Murchison's apartment 40B. So I don't know if we want to add this to the agenda as unforeseen and have a quick discussion about it, how we're going to handle this.
One of the comments due by.
The 18th. Well, so the select board, I believe, has to submit them by the 18th. Okay, well, I'll say this as an
Whatever
announcement.
it is, it's before the next meeting. That's all I care. At this point.
Yeah, it is. So the issue is that for some reason, there hasn't been a site visit yet for this project, this 40B project. And the agency handling it seemed to think that extensions on comments weren't permitted, which is odd because we've had many extensions in the past on our comments as a town. And, not all the boards have been able to meet and nobody's done the official site visit yet. So the select board is going to try to pull some preliminary comments together before the 18th just to get something in on time and hopefully continue working on them to get an extension until after we have a site visit, which hasn't even been scheduled yet. So.
Okay, so we have to, is this the Coolidge Street Apartments or the Coolidge Street Homes? I think.
It's apartments.
Okay.
It's the one Bob Murchison just submitted a new plan for.
I only see July 17th as the latest. Is something even newer? Okay, procedurally. I guess we're, based on new information, we're gonna make a motion to amend the agenda and take a quick look at this. Cause then we can have a little chat and somebody could write it up. Okay, I move to amend the agenda to include comments on the Coolidge Street Apartments due to the current information that it has to be submitted before our next meeting.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Michael, I, Terry,
Aye.
Jacob,
Aye.
Matt,
I,
Kurt,
Aye.
did I get everybody?
You know my name?
Oh, yeah, Courtney.
Hey, aye.
Yeah, okay. I thought I was missing somebody. Okay, I guess you say there's a new plan as of recently?
Well, maybe it's the one from the 17th, but
Okay, I'm just gonna try to.
it's not the one that he submitted. Was it last year? I don't even know. There's been.
Yeah,
so
I
much-
see a January 2022, but that's not,
Okay, yeah, so it's
that's
the one
not,
that.
that's not what we want, right?
Right.
I
mean, so we had submitted comments on a project on that parcel in the past, but now the project has changed. I think it was ownership units before and now it's apartments.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what is actually has a plan.
Matt,
This is the one.
get your
This
hand
is
up.
the one on the town website under the Coolidge Street.
Okay, I've got it here. I'm gonna start sharing my screen. Let's see, here we go.
So I don't think realistically we're gonna have a huge discussion on this tonight. But maybe we
So
wanna
So
force,
that's,
force
okay.
somebody to comment on it. We could authorize somebody to do it, I mean.
Yeah, we'll do that, but let's just get a little, let's just
Well-
brainstorm for 5-10 minutes and see what we get
Who
at.
who did the comments on the previous iteration of the project? And do we have those handy? Because I mean, a lot of it might be the same.
I suspect that they're the same because I think in terms of the area that he's using and staying out of the 50-foot buffer zone and just using a bit of the 100-foot, I think that is similar.
Is this one assuming that there's water and sewer hookups? So that's why there's no well and septic location on this isn't really a plan, but
I believe that's,
I think that was his plan, yeah.
Previous one had, I can also show the comments from that last one.
yeah, the previous one, there was a well like in the middle of the wetland or something, and
right.
I can put it here. And we can see it. I guess I wrote them last time.
yeah, probably wrote them.
Not unsurprisingly. Okay, let me just,
Matt, do you want to say something, or your hand just up for fun?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Hold, please.
I was like, just say it, man. Just say it. You
yeah,
don't have to
right.
wait.
I'm not
I
afraid.
thought he was raising his hand to write the comments.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Good one, Kurt. Good one.
The only camera I have
You're-
up here is on my laptop, and everything is so small. I gotta squint.
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
well, we already nominated you and approved you to write them.
damn it.
Here we go. Okay, let's get here. Let's see, is there anything else down here? No, there's nothing much. I think this is the main thing we need to look at right here.
Right. Well, so I think
Okay. So the only thing he's doing in our thing here is some possible grading.
so. Yeah.
And this is
Yeah,
the
it's-
comments that we did.
Reading and it looks like maybe a little bit of the parking area is gonna touch it.
A hair of building here. right?
Yeah.
But this site, you're right, because this site is all gonna be lifted up because of the high groundwater, so the grading will be
Yeah.
reach out,
Presumably
and
yeah,
this doesn't show stormwater.
Right.
It doesn't show extent of work, doesn't show limits of work. So we don't know if effective limit of work will proceed much further than the eventual lawn.
And I think some of this is they're the same concerns, and except for water quality, proximity to well, wetland hydrology.
There's probably new questions about runoff from the parking lot.
That's good on the
We have
stormwater.
one under stormwater.
Okay.
I mean, and we can like tweak that just to match what you said, with the parking lot or whatever, but I think in terms of overall bullets, those are not much has changed.
I guess.
And
So
we
we're saying
could
the
just
water
follow
quality, so we're saying the first one. I guess the first one almost becomes like buffer zone impacts. Because we don't know anything about the grading. And what kind of runoff or whatever.
Well, that's where site grading
Uh,
comes into the second bullet. I
Right.
think just in
Okay.
terms of anything related to the the cell and the septic and the well, I mean,
Right,
does he definitively say in here that he's tying into this not yet in existence system? Because I think we could just say,
because he doesn't have any, yeah, there's no septic or wells.
right, So we could just qualify to say no septic and well, I said it, are shown on the plan. And if he has one, we would have concerns about it.
Right.
Oh, should we start by saying we don't have a plan? Because this is labeled, this is not a, it's not a stamped drawing or whatever the plan would be.
Right.
It's a concept.
It's a concept. I mean, in the end, our comments at this level
Are
tend to be,
conceptual.
are really don't have a lot of impact on what the issues are for the Mass Housing Authority or whoever this is going to. They, when you talk to them, it's only a matter of when they get to the next level that our comments have any impact. So yeah, okay. I think, so we're worrying about the grading, the wetland hydrology. We'll mention that there's, whether there's wells or septic, that would have problems. There's stormwater, chemical use we should do. And we could mention the wildlife habitat. Okay. I will rework this. Okay, so I move that we work off of the past comments for this project as edited and during this discussion. And that I will submit something on the behalf of the commission.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote. Michael, aye. Jacob,
Aye.
Courtney,
Aye.
Kurt,
Aye.
Matt,
Aye.
Terry.
Aye.
Okay. Unless somebody else wants to take this version and rewrite it. I'm open to that if somebody would like to do that. And if you somehow sleep on it and have an epiphany tomorrow morning that you want to do this, just let me know.
Well, you know, it shouldn't be me because I'm saying leptics.
No, but in the morning you'll be very clear-headed.
I doubt it.
It's not a good sign of anything. Okay, moving on. What do we got here? Second.
Minutes.
Okay, minutes.
I know we're really excited for that.
Yep, and let's see, did anybody, I did it very late in the day. Courtney and I have looked at them. I don't know if anybody else had a chance
I
to.
skimmed them very quickly and didn't notice anything
Yeah,
objectionable.
as long as you didn't notice that I wrote Weptics, I think we're okay.
Yes, and I made sure all the right people were listed, and such. Do, I can, let's see. Let's see, we can do a quick, oops. Okay. Here's one set. These are a year ago. You have any comments, James?
Not that I know of.
Okay, you can check for spelling errors. I think I did a spell check.
Okay to proceed.
Take that as a unanimous.
So these two motions here at
Yeah,
seven
missing
45.
something. Yeah.
Sorry?
You're talking about this one here?
Yeah,
they
and the one
missed
below it,
somebody.
it
Yeah.
doesn't say me having it doesn't have me voting one way or the other, but it said then it says 4-0 by roll call. So
I
I
got it
guess
here.
yeah,
got-
I should either be added or it should be changed to 3-0. So I think I should be added.
Yes, I think you should be added since,
He should have been added. Yeah, I messed that up.
okay. And I missed it. I was trying to be careful about that.
Same thing, yeah.
Good catch. I'm scrolling down. Actually, let me go to the end here. The last part you don't have to see here.
There it is, the Coolidge Street.
Yes, ironic.
Yeah.
Deja vu.
50 weeks. Just about.
Oops, sorry. Everybody fine?
Yep.
Okay, let me go save it here. Oh, what's going on with this? Save this. You have to watch this. One meeting. Okay, we'll do all three and then we'll have one, I guess. We'll do all three and then we'll have a motion on all three. Okay, let me get this one here. Whoops. This is back on August 3rd.
Michael, can you make a little bit bigger?
Sure. More, or is that okay? Want more?
One more. Great,
More?
thank
Okay. Speak up, when you're done.
Okay. I'm done.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're all done with this one?
Yep.
Okay. What happened here? Oh. The wrong place. Here. Oh, file is. And the last one. August 17th. Bigger, I assume.
Under minor plan amendment, that first paragraph. Bottom sentence. Instead of that would be, I would say either will be or.
Oh, here.
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
Okay. Let me know when you're through the 40B in this one, because so I could put all the next thing on one screen.
Okay. Third.
I have a little question on the under 5.2.3 part.
Mhm.
Most of the changes involved wordsmithing and removing repetition. What else would there have been? Because it's just not noted. So I don't know what y'all usually do, but
You had no issues, I guess we can just change it. Well. Oops, what happened? What did I do? What I had to tell, there we go. I wonder what I did here.
I guess my only, or I'll let you finish that first.
Okay, let me just get over here. Jacob?
I guess I wonder whether we need this level, this much detail in this section at all, since it's not something that we took a vote on. Or
I don't think it's already written, it's good.
it's already written, I agree, but I wonder if next time in subsequent things, whether we need this level of detail for
Agreed.
discussions that are still in progress.
Well, I tip my hat to Ms. Eck for doing these.
So, I mean, we do need to have a summary of discussions so that a person could understand what went on at the meeting. And this was a summary of like, I don't know, like over an hour and a half, maybe
Right.
even 2 hours of discussion. Like I almost died writing this. So I definitely
And
did
thank you for writing it.
no, I did not even come close to, this is like bare bones of what we discussed.
We're gonna have James write it next time.
Don't go back and listen to this meeting. Just don't.
Okay, any other comments on this screen?
Kurt, bring a stenographer next time.
Well, I was gonna say they have, obviously they have AI now that can, do a
You're gonna have to
transcript.
try it. We'll have to look at it.
Yeah, might be worth it just to have a written transcript of our
Right.
Zoom meeting. You can just kind of,
honestly, this is happening for the Master Gardener board meetings, and it's not ideal.
Yeah, it gets too much detail, whereas we want, just as Jacob's point, you get into every little odd and end that we muttered.
yeah, the exercise would be cutting it way down to
Yeah.
just the points, but yes, I agree.
Right. Well, we'll see. Okay, I'm moving, let's see. Oh, that's it. Okay. Did anybody, everybody through with this one?
All set.
So done with it.
What?
So done with it.
Okay, let me do my thing.
MO requested that KS bring a stenographer. That's what'll be in this week's.
Yeah, right, exactly. Every little odd and end. Okay. I move that we approve the Conservation Commission minutes of, July 20th, 2023, August 3rd, 2023, and August 17th, 2023, as edited.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Roll call vote. Michael, aye. Jacob?
Aye.
Terry?
Aye.
Matt?
Aye.
Kurt?
Aye.
James?
Aye.
That's illegal.
Courtney? Uh-oh.
Aye.
Aye. Couldn't resist anyway. I hope it didn't invalidate the entire vote.
Invalidated the whole meeting.
Yeah, oh geez. Oh, they'll have to fire me. Okay, let's see, is there any, you have any questions, Joyce, that you want to ask us?
Nope, I'm all set.
Okay, and I think that's the whole agenda.
Move to adjourn.
Okay, seconded at 9:01. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Michael, I. Kurt,
Aye.
Matt,
I,
Jacob,
Hi.
Terry,
Aye.
James,
Aye.
Courtney.
Aye.
Got to get practice because you'll be a select board member in some, who knows, in 15 years.
It was better than to take that job.
On that thing, meeting is adjourned.